How's it going, everyone? Alex with Jeeps Limited. So another episode here of working on my YJ restoration project I'm working on. So for unknown reasons, laziness and being in a rush, when I had the tub off of the Jeep doing all the other body work, I didn't even so much as touch the firewall. It's dirty, greasy, a little bit of rusty. Just needs just some general cleanup and maybe a repaint. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get it cleaned up, get all the crud scraped off of it. There is some surface level rust on it. I'm just gonna use a rust converter to stop that rust, and then I'm just gonna probably just try and paint over it with a couple of coats of red. Maybe get a coat of clear on it. I don't even know. At that point, I don't. It doesn't need to be shiny. It doesn't really need to look that good. I just want it painted. And this Rust-Oleum paint's pretty durable. It seems. I don't think I need a clear coat on it to protect it. I might do one anyways. We'll see. But I'm just gonna get it cleaned up. For anybody asking, this would have been a lot easier to do without this engine in the way. But because this is the Jeeps Limited channel, we do things in no particular order, usually the wrong order. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Just going to be a quick video. Probably not going to be much talking. Probably just going to be mostly watching me work, getting it done, and kind of see how it looks at the end. I'll show you guys up close what it looks like now, and let's do a little before and after. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So overall, the firewall's not really in that bad a shape. It's just there's just grease everywhere, grime everywhere, a little bit of surface level rust that I'm going to clean up. Same thing on this side. There's a little bit more like where the battery tray was. But this stuff, I'm going to get it cleaned up. I'm just going to wire brush it and put a rust converter on it. And then a lot of this won't be too bad to paint. Back here will be a little bit tougher to get at, but it's actually in a lot better shape right there. So not too worried about it. I'm just going to, like I said, clean it up, paint it. And quite honestly, you're not going to see the firewall behind this heap of a motor, which looks like this and is going to continue to look like this for a while, so I'm not too concerned about it, but just wanted to clean it up a little bit before I put these fenders on. So that's what we're working on today. So this actually cleaned up pretty good just with that, just using glass cleaner and a brush. I have like a little cheap 99-cent paint brush and just a little wire brush, like a soft bristle wire brush. And it cleaned up pretty good. I'm going to hit it again. There's, still a lot on there, but it actually cleaned it up pretty good. Got both sides. A lot of this, really, here, what you see is just primer from when the car was built originally or something. I'm going to definitely put the rust converter on it. I'll get, probably at this point, I'll actually start hitting it with a wire brush before I bother cleaning it again. But it looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to paint it. I mean, it's really not too bad, and it's going to be a pain to paint. And, I mean, you could see, this was never even painted from the factory. So, we'll see. I'm going to get it cleaned up, get that rust cleaned up, and coat all that, and then I'll see if I want to paint it. I mean, it'll look kind of like shit, because that rust converter dries black, but we'll see. At least get that done, and then I'll decide if I'm going to paint it. But so far, it's actually looking pretty good. Alright, so I've got this whole thing cleaned up. It looks pretty good. I went through, got all the loose rust off, and I went ahead and put, you can see here, some rust converter on the rust spots. There's nothing that was really concerning as far as the rust, just regular surface rust. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and just give this a scuff with something kind of light, just to help that paint adhere. And then I'm going to clean it one more time, and I'm gonna spray it. Do a little bit of masking off. It won't be too bad. I can easily spray all of this on both sides. Here, kind of behind the motor, I can try and spray, maybe. If not, I can try and roll it on, or I might just get to here and leave it. Again, this isn't the most show part of the car, so it'll be alright. I'm just going to go ahead and get that scuffed then, and then get it cleaned off and ready for paint. Alright, this has been scuffed, cleaned, crudely taped off. It's good enough for what it is, so I'm going to hit as much as I can with the spray. I can get some up here, on the other side here. I'm going to spray as much as I can, and then maybe tomorrow or later today, depending, or never, drop back, and maybe back there, if I can't get it sprayed well enough, I might try and hit it with a brush or something. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Like I said, this isn't something that I'm really overly concerned about. I just feel like at this point it should look better than this. So I'm going to go ahead and just start spraying it. Excellent. Always start with the hard to reach spots, I suppose. Paint over that, nobody will notice. Now it's running right there. It's all right. It already looks better. I mean, it's not great, but it's just an attempt to make it look better than it was. Actually, this stuff I can't even get back there. The back behind the engine's really actually not that bad. This paint blends pretty nicely, so you really might not even see it if I can't get to it. There's just one little spot on the top of the trans tunnel I probably will brush. I mean, I got it pretty good, but if I can't get it good enough, I'll brush it. But otherwise, I'm just going to let that tack up as always. You'll notice I don't even care if this stuff gets paint on it. This is just like hoses to the windshield washer. I could replace it if it is that big of a deal. So again, it's just kind of a crude, quick paint job. Just painting over all the bolts and everything. I can get that paint off of that later. Hopefully, probably not. I'll probably make a video on how I fix all this stuff, but in the meantime, as it sits in my garage, it'll look better. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat that a couple of times, and you guys will see it when it's done. you'll notice I didn't start the hard to reach spot again. Sometimes you never learn. Maybe in my next rebuild I'll do a better job. Alright, I'll call that second coated. A couple more like that. Should be okay. Well, all right. I think that's probably going to be the final coat. I've got several good coats on there. Again, it doesn't really need to be perfect. I don't know why, but I had 2 half cans of paint. They both just sprayed real bad, real just splattery, and they did not spray good. But overall, actually, the paint looks pretty good, given that the cans kind of sprayed like crap. And I would say I got most of everything. There's probably a little spot behind the engine that I didn't get, but it should be okay. It actually looks pretty good. So I'm actually pretty happy with that, surprisingly, for the first time. So I'm going to let that dry and then pull the masking off. All right, so I got all the masking pulled off, and it actually turned out really good. I'm really happy with the way it looks, especially given it's not really a spot you're going to see all that much. I'm not going to bother clear coat this. I don't really think this paint needs it. This is like a pretty durable oil-based paint. It's Rust-Oleum. I don't think it needs to be clear coated. I'm not trying to finish this really. You're really hardly going to see it, but I just wanted it to, one, have the rust taken care of, so it's been converted, and to just make it kind of look fresh, so when you open the hood it doesn't look terrible, especially next to the new fenders. Now it looks terrible with this motor here, but Eventually I might clean that up. That'd probably be further down the line. I might start cleaning it up a little bit too as I start putting it back together, I'm sure, but overall it doesn't look too bad. So for anybody following along at home, you'll notice this went per plan. It took me 2 days. 1 day to clean it and prep it, 1 day to mask it, paint it, and pull the masking off. So it actually went the way it was supposed to, which is nice for a change. So overall, turned out really good. Definitely worth the 2 extra days. In hindsight, I should have done this when the body was off. The reason why I didn't, at that time, I wasn't even thinking about painting. I had so much other work to do. I wasn't ready to paint, didn't have any paint. So I just skipped it and figured, screw it. And inevitably, it really wasn't too bad to do. So, with that being said, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I figured before I go, I owe you guys a close-up on it so you can really see overall what a difference that made. And, you know, you can still see technically where the rust spots were because of the texture, but they're all converted and covered with paint. So, overall, really happy with it. Thanks for watching, guys.